I'm going to talk in English also, but if you have any question at the end, you want to talk in Spanish, it's fine because I speak fluently Castellano, okay? Let's start from, as Oscar said, who I am. I'm the International Vice President of Groupon in Southern Europe, actually the best economies that we have now in Europe, so Italy, Greece, Spain, and Portugal. I just won another one, that is Turkey. That is the only economy that is basically growing in my region. Okay, I'm not going to talk about macroeconomics, but I'm going to talk about, let's say, microeconomics, because you all know probably what Groupon is. Groupon is basically a marketplace where local commerce, local travel entities, and local goods seller can basically feature themselves on our page and find on the other end people looking to buy services, travel and physical goods. As you probably know, we were born 5 years ago in the US. The former name of the company was The Point. It was founded by Andrew Mason, who was at that time was not, let's say, a profit guy, but was more an ONG guy that was thinking about creating a platform in order to have people meeting on the website and then organize protests or simple meetings or parties or whatever. After 1 year, when The Point was launched, he met Eric Lefkowski, our current CEO, and they together came up with the idea of a place where people can buy something and on local commerce, and on the other end, the local merchant could have offered a discount or reducing its price point in order to find new customers. You need to consider one point. At the moment, around the world, we have, if you go to the yellow pages across all the world, worldwide, 5 continents, there are around 16 million of local merchants that are physically in place. And this is what is basically what people were able to see. An estimation of McKinsey says that there are probably 2 or 3 times if we consider shops that Yellow Pages was not able to reach. So I think that the idea that Andrew had and Eric had was basically to, for the first time, to bring local merchants on a web platform, not just for advertising, but also for sales. So in order to have people purchasing and get them to the shop. If we talk about my story is pretty different from what Andrew did, because in the end of 2009, I was in Spain, I was living in Madrid, running my own company. I was basically 20 kilos fatter than now, so I was drinking cañas every night. I was pretty happy. And then I found that CityDeal had launched his branch in Spain through a friend. I basically show up to the office in Madrid and I say, okay, we need to launch this in Italy. Also, if nobody will trust what the power of e-commerce in Italy, we need to do this. If we fail in 3 months, I'm going to get back to my previous company, re-get all the shares that I had, and try again with my job. I found the investor, basically was the same investor of CityDeal in Spain, the Samuel brother, and I got a call from them, and basically the day after, when I told I want to go to Italy, they told me, okay, you need to go tomorrow. So it was beginning of 2010, January, February, and from one day to another one, I left Madrid, I left all my packages here, some of those are still here, I don't know where, and I moved back to Italy after 5 years abroad. It was really funny because on the beginning I didn't have any office, but I started from home, and then I found an agreement with a co-working studio, and I told them, okay guys, I'm launching this new business. We are just 6 people. We'll probably be 7, 8, or 10 within the end of the year. It was the beginning of 2010. After 3 weeks, we were 70 people. So I've been probably the first country in the Southern Europe, the first company in the Southern Europe part that has been fired from an office in the last 10 years. You know, in this period, people used to retain you, also lowering your rent. But the owner said, I don't care, you are too many people, you are creating a disaster here, so you leave tomorrow. We didn't have, basically after 3 weeks, we didn't have any office. We were 70 people, most of them from sales, and we started this great adventure. After 3 months, I got a call from Oliver somewhere that told me, okay guys, Groupon wants to buy you, and they want to create the biggest marketplace for local commerce in the biggest deal place for local commerce in Europe. We were basically acquired from one day to another one, and from day zero in January 2010 to May 2010, we basically became part of a global company. A global company that from 0 to 5 years has basically acquired 200 million subscribers, has 11,000 employees worldwide, has featured more than 5,100 merchants, and in the last 2 years, including the recent period, has basically done 10 acquisitions in 2012, 3 acquisitions by the end of June 2013, including Blink Booking, that is a Spanish company. And if we deep dive, if we look at the last numbers, we basically from 0 to 5 years, we basically generated, if we look at Q2 2013, 1.41 billion in gross billings, that is basically the transaction that we have on the platform, and consolidated revenue for $608 million, with a growth quarter-over-quarter of 10% and 7% respectively. But the most interesting part is that this happened like this. I remember in the beginning, when I said to my parents that I was going to leave my previous company where I was actually making a lot of money, and I told to my father, Daddy, I'm going to sell discounted vouchers for local commerce in Italy. The answer of my father was, you will be fired you will be back to your previous company in 3 months from now. I think that it was wrong, because at the moment, if I look at my region, our region is basically the second region in EMEA in terms of volume that we are generating. What's our value added? We basically help small and medium enterprises to go on our website and to be featured on our website, to make a real advertising and performance-based advertising. Because as you can see on our web page, you can basically see every moment how much are you selling, and every moment how many people will come in the next 6, 12, or 18 months in your shop. Just to give you some example, if you look at the lady on the right, is a dentist from Sevilla. We bring them, it was middle of 2012, around 1,000 customers in 3 days. And let's say that she was really, really happy with what she did, because she never had so many patients at the same time with only one advertising promotion. And on the other end, you can see the other guy. He has a small tattoo shop in Granada. We brought him around 50 users that are now his customers. And this is, I think, the greatness and the really what Groupon does and what Groupon changes. How do we do this? We did a lot of mistakes on the beginning. We all know that, especially also in Spain, in Italy, and all the other countries. We were not able to control our machine. We were basically selling vouchers without any kind of control on the counters, without any kind of control on how the business was developing and how the business could be sustainable. This has been changed a lot in the last 12, let's say 24 months, since the end of 2011. We are now basically controlling, of course, the number of vouchers that we are selling, and I can easily say that we are finally creating value. Our estimate says that we have now 225 people working for us in Spain, 750 in the entire region, but we create an indirect employment for 30,000 people only in Spain. If we look at the merchants that we work with and the number of people that they had to hire, rehire, or keep during this period. How do we do this? We moved from, let's say, being a startup growing, exaggerating growing, to a more sustainable model where we help the merchant to manage not only his campaign, but also his own business. With a Simply Merchant Center, it's basically a control panel where people on the other side, both the owner of the activity or also waitresses or all the employees, can manage and see what's going on in his activity across all perspectives, on the marketing side, number of people that are coming, and also if they are basically making money or not only on with our users. What we are offering them too is booking tools, because one of the most important problems that we had on the beginning was the number of calls that shops were receiving, that local merchants were receiving during the featuring and during the promotion. We are now basically taking out all the numbers and letting people to contact the merchant only through booking tools, especially on restaurants where the activity is pretty stressful during the peak hours. Also, you need to know that in Southern Europe, most of the local commerce, they basically don't even know what internet is. This is especially, I mean, without distinction. Probably there are a couple of cities like Madrid, Barcelona, Milan, and Rome where there is a proper entrepreneurship mentality on the local commerce side, but most of the people, they don't even have a website. So what we do now, we give them a website for free in order to feature them and to promote themselves, not only during the campaign. And last point, what we are basically doing now is helping them to get feedback from the user, not like TripAdvisor does, because I mean we don't want to make the job that some other big players are doing, but basically in a peer-to-peer manner. What does it mean? That if you buy a Groupon now and then you use it, you will get a survey directly from us asking you how was the experience, what were the problems, and on the other side, merchants can see what happened and what's going on. And this has been really helpful also to filter the bad merchant experience and also in some cases filter some bad merchants that will be featured on the page. How do we do this? The other funny thing is that we keep having a startup art. What does it mean? That we still have, our life is still not boring. I mean, I'm not a corporate guy. I'm, let's say, more an entrepreneur. And Groupon is basically my third startup. And of course, I cannot live in this environment only if I keep having some of the startup benefit. That means life not boring like we did in Spain. If you look, this is our Harlem Shake that we did in February with 15,000 views in one day. So not only the Groupon employees, but also someone from outside. And we try also to do something for our community. That means that Groupon is what we get from the user. What we get from the market is not only getting money, but we try to help local communities or big ONG in order to do a kind of fundraising with our user and give them back the money to the ONG. We've been working both with local organization or organization with a strong presence like Banco de Alimentos, but also with big ONG like WWF or UNICEF or ActionAid or other kind of those. Since the beginning of the year, we basically raised around 70K euros with 5 deals, if I'm not wrong. What's the future? Until now, we've basically had one service, that means a user base with a lot of people registering in, where every day we send an email, and people sometimes get boring from our emails. I'm pretty sure that if I ask here how many of you cancel their Groupon emails, probably half of you. How many of you have canceled the? So it's more than half. I think that we are conscious of this, especially starting in the US. What we are doing and trying now is to move from a push model to a pull model. So from being a user base with an email capacity to a pull model, to a pure marketplace model. What does it mean? That what we want is that before you go out, before all of you go out, you think about Groupon. If you want to go out to eat, you go on our website without the need to receive an email, and you can find any merchants that you want, not only discounted, but also with other form of presence, that be a reservation or only a pure presence with a phone number. And the second phenomenon that we cannot ignore, and that is really driving our story at the moment, is mobile. You need to consider that only in the US, half of the sales are coming from mobile. And in Europe, this is still not developed in the right direction. We are now working on this. We have a presence across all platforms, but we still have a lot to do on mobile. Our goal, of course, is to basically keep dominating the mobile space, and as we are now, keep being the first mobile commerce company in the world. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Giulio. ¿Preguntas? A ver si os animáis. Preguntas por aquí. Estamos a punto. Mira.
Hola.
Sí.
Vale. En español se puede preguntar, ¿no? Sí. Perfecto. Es que, bueno, es una opinión para que me convenzas de lo contrario. Yo una opinión que tengo de Groupon, alguna vez que lo he usado, por ejemplo, para ir a un restaurante a cenar y me cuesta 20 euros, ¿no? Y me están diciendo que ese menú cuesta 40 en realidad y es un descuento del 50. Y la mayoría de las veces ha estado bien, he dicho bien, pero siempre he dicho, bueno, yo por este precio está bien, pero por 40 euros no vuelvo al restaurante. Entonces, no sé muy bien qué valor le está creando al restaurante. Incluso, luego hablando con dueños de restaurantes que no están en Groupon, me decían que era como que ellos, ¿cómo se dice? Minusvalorar su producto. No sé si me explico. Por ponerse en Groupon, me refiero. Que era como, ¿no? Que su producto vale eso y no la mitad.
Te contesto en español. No, por supuesto, te digo, es un tema muy sencillo. Lo que hemos visto, sobre todo en los años pasados, es que hay muchos merchants que se han quejado porque dicen, yo no traigo valor de esto. La razón principal es porque, por dos motivos, dos razones. Primero, hay muchas tiendas, muchos negocios que se piensan que nuestros usuarios son de calidad B. Hemos tenido muchos. Sabes, que tú te ibas ahí y te ponían con la mesa al fondo ahí a la izquierda. Y eso es un tema de mentalidad que estamos intentando cambiar y está cambiando mucho. En el sentido que ahora tenemos un quality control y tenemos mystery shoppers que están básicamente en toda España controlando lo que pasa, no digo en cada restaurante, pero random checks para ver un poco que no pase eso. Segundo, que es el tema más importante, el problema que hemos tenido, y por eso el Merchant Center, es que muchos merchants decían, yo no estoy ganando nada, no hay upselling, la gente no consuma. Luego le hemos dado una herramienta para mirando el precio del cupón o lo que se han gastado, dime cuánto se han gastado más. Y al final le salían las cuentas. Y eso es un tema mucho de evaluación y de measurement, ¿sabes? De mesurar un poco. ¿Se dice mesurar? No.
Sí.
Ok, sorry. Un poco cómo funcionaba la campaña. Y te aseguro que el nivel de satisfacción de los usuarios y también de los merchants está subiendo un montón. Sobre todo en España, donde nuestra política de descuentos se está volviendo a ser mucho menos agresiva comparándola con el pasado.
Perdón. ¿Hola?
Sí, lo
Sí.
tenemos.
Bueno, yo sigo la estrategia que lleváis en Estados Unidos y me preguntaba cuándo va a empezar a implantarse en Europa, sobre todo para la parte del merchant. Es decir, yo creo que es muy interesante lo que estáis haciendo allí, tratando de darle el software y al final controlar todos los aspectos que el merchant necesita para hacer su negocio más fácil, incluso ser vuestra agencia, o sea, ser la agencia digital de la pyme. Y quería saber si vais a traerlo y cuándo.
El cuándo, unas cosas ya están funcionando. Merchant Center, Booking Tools y también unas herramientas que el usuario no ve, pero que el merchant sí ve, que se llama Smart Deals. Básicamente, una de las quejas que hemos tenido es que a los merchants se llegaba gente de, no sé, fuera de Madrid, fuera de Barcelona, de otras ciudades, no gente que está cerca de las tiendas. Lo que está pasando ahora es que hemos llegado a un nivel de geolocalización muy fuerte y a los merchants le llega básicamente con el código postal, le llegan los usuarios de su código postal, uno. Segundo, por supuesto va a llegar todo, yo creo que en 2014 vamos a tener las mismas opciones que tienen en Estados Unidos. Estamos todavía al 50%. ¿He contestado? Sí. Okay.
¿Alguna pregunta más? A ver si no veo bien. ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿No? Sí, aquí también.
Bueno, comentabas que vais a dar páginas web para los merchants, para que, me imagino, para que puedan estar más visibles y tal. ¿Por qué habéis implementado esa política?
¿De darle una página web?
Sí.
Porque, primero, la campaña funciona mucho mejor si un socio tiene una web. O sea, es un tema de confianza del usuario. Yo, no sé vosotros, pero creo casi todos, antes de salir, quiero mirar dónde voy a comer, dónde me voy a hacer la limpieza bucal, dónde me voy a hacer un tratamiento estético, lo que sea. Lo que hemos visto es que haciendo una web y socios con web vendían mucho mejor y tenían una Customer Satisfaction Index mucho más alto de socios que no eran transparentes. Muchos de los problemas que hemos tenido es que a veces el socio no sabe cómo hacer una web. Y como para nosotros es muy sencillo, como tenemos un departamento editorial que se encarga de esto y pues, por supuesto de otras cosas, hemos decidido hacerlo y gratis.
O sea, que no necesitan una venta mínima, ¿no? Para
No.
tener la web.
Si no tienes una web y tienes una campaña con nosotros, no necesitas una venta mínima. Te hacemos la web y ya está. Y luego la puedes utilizar tú.
¿Y esas personas luego gestionan su web? Es decir, ¿luego podrían vender a través de esa web sus productos o tienen que venderlos siempre a través
Depende,
de vuestra
la parte
plataforma?
de e-commerce y de vender sus productos, por supuesto, necesita un upgrade. En la mayoría de los casos se lo hacen ellos directamente, pero la gestión de la web es la suya. Si quieren poner, no sé, una promoción, por supuesto, diferente de lo que hace Groupon, lo pueden hacer después de la campaña.
Ok, gracias.
A ti.
¿Más preguntas? Bueno, veo que no. Yo tengo una pregunta, Giulio.
Vale.
No sé si me vas a contestar. ¿Cuánto de vuestro negocio, cuánto de vuestros ingresos viene del cupón no redimido?
¿Cuánto?
¿Cuánto de vuestros ingresos de vuestro negocio, qué porcentaje viene del cupón no redimido, del cupón no gastado?
Estamos en silent period y no puedo contestar, pero mucho menos de lo que la gente se piensa.
Gracias, Giulio. Thank you.
Gracias. My own company, I was basically 20 kilos fatter than now, so I was drinking cañas every night. I was pretty happy. And then I found that CDD had launched his branch in Spain through a friend. I basically show up to the office in Madrid and I say, okay, we need to launch this in Italy. Also, if nobody will trust what the power of e-commerce in Italy, we need to do this. If we fail in 3 months, I'm going to get back to my previous company, re-get all the shares that I had, and try again with my job. I found the investor, basically was the same investor of CDD in Spain, the Samuel brother, and I got a call from them, and basically the day after, when I told I want to go to Italy, there are 16 millions of local merchants that are physically in place. And this is what is basically what people were able to see. An estimation of McKinsey says that there are probably 2 or 3 times if we consider shops that Yellow Pages was not able to reach. So I think that the idea that Andrew had and Eric had was basically to, for the first time, to bring local merchants on a web platform, not just for advertising, but also for sales. So in order to have people purchasing and get them to the shop. If we talk about my story is pretty different from what Andrew did, because in the end of 2009, I was in Spain, I was living in Madrid, running my organized protests or simple meetings or parties or whatever. After 1 year, when The Point was launched, he met Eric Lefkowski, our current CEO, and they together came up with the idea of a place where people can buy something and on local commerce, and on the other end, the local merchant could have offer a discount or reducing its price point in order to find new customers. You need to consider one point. At the moment, around the world, we have, if you go to the Yellow Pages across all the world, worldwide, 5 continents, there are around... I'm going to talk in English also, but if you have any question at the end, you want to talk in Spanish, it's fine, because I speak fluently Castellano, okay? Let's start from, as Oscar said, who I am. I'm the International Vice President of Groupon in Southern Europe. Actually, the best economies that we have now in Europe, so Italy, Greece, Spain, and Portugal. I just won another one, that is Turkey. That is the only economy that is basically growing in my region. Okay, I'm not going to talk about macroeconomics, but I'm going to talk about, let's say, microeconomics, because you all know probably what Groupon is. Groupon is basically a marketplace where local commerce, local travel entities, and local goods seller can basically feature themselves on our page and find on the other end people looking to buy services, travel and physical goods. As you probably know, we were born 5 years ago in the US. The former name of the company was The Point. It was founded by Andrew Mason, who was at that time, was not, let's say, a profit guy, but was more an ONG guy that was thinking about creating a platform in order to have people meeting on the website and then